Hello everybody, this is Michael, and I will be attempting to answer the two homework questions we had for Bio 125. So the first question reads, why is the process of adjusting mortality rates important to understanding public health threats? And the only reason I could come up with is, say there's a scenario where you have six confounding variables. If you adjust for 5 of them, then you could look at the effects of just that one you have left without worrying about the other 5. And so that's number 1. And in the second question, we're supposed to come up with an example of how you would actually adjust for a confounder. So let's say I have City of Women over here, and it consists of 90 girls, 10 boys. And I have City of Man over here, and it consists of 90 boys and 10 girls. And we'll also say that each time a member of either city turns on their television set and watches an episode of Desperate Housewives, they die. And we'll take for granted that mostly girls watch that show so that the example kind of works. So we'll say in City of Women that out of the 90 girls, 45 of them have died. Out of the 10 boys, 1 of them have died. In City of Man, out of the 90 boys, 9 of them have died. And out of the 10 girls, 5 of them have died. So that's a lot of numbers. You don't have to remember them. Just remember City of Women has lots of women, City of Man has lots of guys. And I've actually made it so that the rates, the gender-specific death rates are the same between the two populations. So the rate at which guys are dying here is the same as the rate at which guys are dying here. And so now that we have those numbers, let's say I went down, I have all the numbers here, and I go down the columns, and I add up all the deaths for one city, put it over the total, and do the exact same thing for the other city. Then I'll come up with two numbers. I'll come up with 46 over 100 for City of Women, and I will come up with 14 over 100 for City of Man. And to the untrained eye, you actually can't compare those two numbers without considering confounding variables. And a confounding variable can mean anything such as sex, gender, age, I think population size is one of them, etc. But to do that, what you want to do, actually, let's backtrack a little bit. This isn't what we did to come up with 46 and 14, but this is what you could do, and I think this might help flesh out the example a little bit. So the gender-specific death rates that we calculated early were, for example, in the City of Women, there's 90 girls, 45 of them died, and so that's a 50% gender-specific death rate for girls. So those numbers, we have 4 of them total. What you could do is if you applied those numbers to the respective populations, so that 50% for the girls in City of Women, if you applied that to the number of women in City of Women, which would be 90, so 50% of 90, if you did that, you get 45. If you followed that process all the way down for both populations, keeping them within their respective cities, then you'll come up with the numbers we had, 46 versus 14. And those are the crude death rates. And those are great. But as I think I said earlier, you can't compare this without considering the confounders. To consider just the confounder of gender, what you'd want to do is take those gender-specific death rates that I mentioned, instead of going down the respective population numbers, you want to bring them together and apply them to a set population. And what I'm going to do is, instead of this, I'm actually going to go over here and apply them to the population set of City of Women. So City of Women had a total of 100 people, 90 girls, 10 boys, and that's going to be the population that I'm going to apply the rates to, all my different rates to get a fair comparison. And that just adjusts for gender. So if I do all that math, then instead of getting 46 versus 14, I'll actually get 46 versus 46, because the gender-specific rates were the same between the two cities. It's just the City of Women was being skewed because there's lots of girls, and the girls were watching Desperate Housewives. And yeah, that's how you would adjust for a confounder. I think it would be helpful. It would have been better if I could do an example with 2 confounders, but I can't, because then it would make a little more sense to me, because I think one of the big reasons is to adjust for one confounder, you make another one come out. But I could be wrong. But thank you for your time. I think that's all I had to say. And bye.